One thing I look at when watching football teams play is, are they trash or not? I don't care how good you are, but I want to know if you're trash. Like, do you miss the basic things out on the field? For example, how does a team leak a running back out of the backfield into the flat and there's nobody there to cover him? That makes no sense. And that should be held against you as a football team. So when people say, oh, they watched the tape and they watched the film, do we know what they're watching? Because a lot of teams aren't good and they just get labeled as good because of the name. When I'm watching a team like Notre Dame, I'm like, yeah, that's a good team. They do some good things out there. They haven't lost in months, and the 2 games they did lose, they lost by a combined 4 points. That means they are always competitive. We can't say that for everybody. And if you're trying to get the best teams in there, get the best teams in there, not just the SEC teams. Like, we put Oklahoma in the playoffs because they beat Alabama. But what is Alabama? If Oklahoma was still in the Big 12, that team would not be in the playoffs. Same team, same talent, same win-loss record, and they would be out. And if you think I'm kidding, just look at BYU. They made it to the Big 12 title game, only lost to one team. They lost twice. Both losses were bad, but Texas Tech is a very good team, and they're in the top 4. Maybe they should be higher. But how high can you get when you're playing in the Big 12 and you don't get the credit that you deserve on a national level? Instead, we have 5 SEC teams in the college football playoffs. And that's just crazy to me. What did Alabama go? 2-2 in the last 4 games? Something like that? And they just moved up. Moved up after struggling with Auburn. You don't get to struggle with Auburn and move up. You don't get to get blasted by Georgia and then stay the same when everybody else moved down. Ohio State lost by 3. They moved down. We all understood because Indiana was undefeated and beat them. So they just moved down and swapped one spot. But Alabama did not move anywhere. They just stayed the same, stayed cozy, stayed in the spot where they could make the playoffs so they wouldn't have to miss it twice in a row. And another reason why they moved BYU down was to get Miami in the college football playoff. Now picture this. If Virginia wins, does Notre Dame get in the playoff? They said, oh, it's not true. We didn't force Miami in the playoffs because the ACC wouldn't have a team in. But that's probably the case, and nobody's going to tell you the truth about that. Come on, let's be logical about this. Virginia lost, Duke won. They weren't going to put Duke in. They were like, how can we get Miami in? Well, let's put Miami next to Notre Dame, then we could put them past Notre Dame. If that's the case, they should have been ahead of Notre Dame in the first place because they only had 2 losses. So you're penalizing teams like Miami, penalizing teams like Notre Dame, but you don't penalize the teams like Alabama. Why is that? Because they beat an overrated Georgia team, and then the Georgia team comes back and beats an overrated Alabama team? We saw what happened with Oklahoma and Texas. Oklahoma's offense is not good. They make a play here and there. And now we have the highly touted rematch between Oklahoma and Alabama. Whoever wins is going to say, see, we deserved it. But whoever loses, it's going to be a farce. Now let's take a look at the college football playoff in totality. We have number 1 Indiana Hoosiers with their bye waiting for the winner of Alabama and Oklahoma. We have number 2 Ohio State waiting for the Texas A&M and Miami winner. Meanwhile, we have the SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs at number 3 waiting for a game between Ole Miss and Tulane. Tulane is the highest group of 5 team that won a conference championship, and they got in. And they face an Ole Miss team that they played earlier in the season and lost. And the final team with the bye is number 4 Texas Tech out of the Big 12 as the champion. They play the winner of Oregon and JMU, which is an interesting dilemma for the Oregon Ducks. Last year they were the number 1 seed and everything looked good until they had to face Ohio State after the Buckeyes lost to Michigan in the regular season finale that dropped them down. Another product of when certain teams lose, they drop, and when certain teams lose, they stay the same.